In this session, we'll discuss about IGBT, insulated gate bipolar transistor. Insulated gate bipolar transistor. What is this insulated gate bipolar transistor? It's the combination of MOSFET and BJT. How it is combined, we'll see all the things. Here you can see it is the combination property of BJT and MOSFET. We know that BJT has a lower on-state losses for high value of collector current. In BJT, you know that in between collector to terminal to emitter terminal, whatever the current that is flowing, that current face low resistance for the flowing of current. But if you consider MOSFET, but in MOSFET, whenever the current is flowing from drain to source, there will find maximum resistance. On-state resistance will be high in the MOSFET. So because of this, whatever the current conduction is there, during that current conduction, we are expecting BJT property. Fine. But if you consider the turning on nature of MOSFET and BJT, MOSFET turn on is very simple compared to the BJT. So here you can see MOSFET has a high on-state losses. So but gate circuit of MOSFET and collector to emitters of the BJT are combined together to form a new device. This device is called as an IGBT. It has advantage of both MOSFET as well as BJT. It has advantage of both BJT as well as MOSFET. Here you can see during turning on, it should behave similar to MOSFET. Whenever it start to conduct, you want this IGBT to behave, it should behave similar to BJT. Why you want to behave this IGBT similar to MOSFET during turn on? Because you are turning on MOSFET using the gate terminal. Here you have gate to emitter terminal. From this terminal, you are turning on of this MOSFET. So because of this, turning on will be very easy for the IGBT. But once it start to conduct, in MOSFET, drain to source resistance will be very high. But collector to emitter resistance will be, on-state drop resistance will be very less. So because of this, whenever it get turns on, you want this to behave similar to BJT. So we will see how we will achieve this property and all here. So as we have seen, it has 3 terminal. What are the terminals it has? We will see that. It has 3 terminal. Gate, collector, emitter. These are the 3 terminals. We can see that one in the MOSFET. Current flow from collector to emitter end. Current flow from collector to emitter end. Whenever voltage between gate to emitter is applied, IGBT is said to have turned on. When it get turns on, when you apply voltage between gate to emitter end had turned on. When gate to emitter voltage is removed, it will get turns off. It will get turns off when you remove gate to emitter voltage. Thus, gate has full control over the operation of the IGBT. Gate has full control over the operation of the IGBT. So, on-state collector to emitter drop is very small, like a BJT. We'll see what is that IGBT structure. Here you can see it has a collector terminal. You can call this is like a drain terminal also. You have P plus injecting layer. You know that in this P plus injecting layer, doping concentration will be very high, that is 10 raised to 19 per centimeter cube. Here also you can have N plus buffer layer. Here also 10 raised to 19 per centimeter cube doping concentration. Next N minus drift region. Here you have added less number of impurity. means up to 10 raised to 14 per centimeter cube you have added. And also in this P body region also you have added 10 raised to 16 per centimeter. These are the doping concentration you have added in all these layers. And also you can see here, you can observe here you have n plus 12 is there, another n plus 12 is there, and your source which is made up of this metallic layer, na, it will touch this n plus region, and it covers some portion in this P body region. This is the emitter region. And also you can observe that this is the source region, that is also called as an emitter. Next, gate. Which is the gate? This gate covers n plus region, P body region, and n minus drift region. These three region this gate will cover. N region, P body region, and n minus drift region. These three region this one will cover. And here metal coating you have done above this SiO2 layer. Above this SiO2 layer, metal coating you have done. So we'll see what are the things they have written here. Whenever voltage between, where you apply voltage in between gate end to emitter end, you will apply the voltage, it will make this IGBT turn on. So voltage between gate and emitter is applied, IGBT is said to have turned on. Fine. And it has full control over the conduction of IGBT, this gate what you have applied. But on-state drop of emitter drop is very small compared to the BJT. It has combined the advantage of both MOSFET and BJT. MOSFET property means using voltage, gate voltage, you will make this turn on. It is very simple turning on nature. And also drain to source on-state drop resistance will be high in the MOSFET, so it will select that property of BJT. So collector to emitter drop is very small in BJT, so it will select that property. So we will see that as I told, P plus region you have, and also P plus doping concentration will be 10 raised to 19 per centimeter cube, and N minus drift region, that is of 10 raised to 14. If you consider just P body region, that is of 10 raised to 16 per centimeter cube. Next we will go with the punch through IGBT. In some of the IGBT, this N plus buffer layer is absent. Here you can observe, no, N plus buffer layer is absent. If this N plus buffer layer is present, means switching speed will get increases. If this N plus buffer layer is absent, means switching speed will get decrease. So in the application where you are using inverters and choppers, in that type of IGBT, you will use N plus buffer layer. But in normal operation, no, you will not use this N plus buffer layer. So in normal operation means if you are using some of the rectifier type applications, design and all, there you will not use this N plus buffer layer. We will see what they have written. In punch through IGBT, this N plus buffer layer is not present, is not necessary. IGBT which has N plus buffer layer is called punch through IGBT if it is having N plus layer. It has asymmetric voltage blocking capacity. It has, if you are having punch through IGBT, means if you are having N plus region, then it has fast turn off time. So switching speed get increases. So you can use this one in inverter and chopper application. Next, non punch through IGBT. You can use this one in rectifier operation. Non punch through IGBT, you can use this one in rectifier operation. So we will see how it get operated. If you are increasing gate to source voltage, if this gate to source voltage, if you increase this one in more than threshold voltage, then this IGBT get turns on. So here they have written, if you are increasing this VGS, that is more than VGS threshold, then it will get turns on. So how you apply that voltage? Here you can observe that You are applying voltage in between gate to source terminal VGS. Source is nothing but that is similar to emitter itself. Here also you have done. We'll see when you apply gate to source voltage, then what happens. Here gate is connected with a positive supply. Obviously it will attract the electrons from this n plus buffer layer. So here you can see electrons are accumulated. These electrons are attracted from n plus buffer layer. As these electrons are accumulated, these electrons attracts holes from this p body region. You know that in this p plus region, more number of holes will be there. These holes are attracted toward this accumulated electrons. So you will get a more number of holes and electrons space in this n minus drift region. So because of this n minus drift region, resistance get decreases. So resistance of this n minus drift region get decreases. Fine. Like this, this type of operation will take place. We'll see channel of electrons will be formed, electrons and holes current will be formed, and hole injection will be shown here. So at this drift region, conductivity get increases, then current start to flow from drain to source like this. It will get conduct when you apply gate to source voltage. You will see what is that internal operation and all here. Obviously we have seen that what are the operation we have seen. This is collector. Next we have seen this is the nature of emitter. Collector and emitter terminal we told because it behaves similar to BJT. And also during turn on we call this one as a gate terminal instead of base terminal, because you are turning on this one using the voltage supply. Next you can see during turn on you can see the presence of MOSFET. Presence of MOSFET. This gate is connected here, and MOSFET source terminal will be there, and MOSFET drain terminal will be present here. When you apply gate voltage, this MOSFET will get turns on, then current start to flow like this, source to drain. Then here you can see accumulation of electron will be present here whenever you apply the gate voltage. As these electrons are accumulated, it attracts the holes. Then the resistance of this n minus drift region get varies because of accumulated electrons. So you can see conductivity modulation of n minus drift region due to T1 and T2. So because of this T1 get turns on, because you will get more number of free electrons. As this T1 get turns on, then current start to flow from emitter terminal here like this. Obviously T2 also get turns on like this. Current start to flow from source terminal to emitter terminal like this. So like this current start to flow. And also you can see source, this is N, here you can have N, P, N, this makes one MOSFET during turn on. This is effective during turn on. Next this N, P, N, it makes another transistor T2. Next this P, N, P, this makes another transistor T1. You have T1, T2, next MOSFET. All these three behavior we can see in this vertical cross section. So if you draw the equivalent model for this one with respect to this one, if you draw here, during turn on gate will be effective. Next you have collector terminal. Next you have emitter terminal. Next body region resistance R1 you have. Next drift region resistance R2 you have. Here you can observe what is that body region resistance R1 and R2. Here you have R1 no, body region resistance and R2. Why it is R2 is shown with variable resistance? we have seen that in this n minus drift region there will be accumulation of more number of free moving electrons and holes, no? Because of this resistance of this n minus drift region get varies. So because of this it is shown with variable resistor. Initially resistance may be high. As you apply gate voltage, electrons and holes start to accumulate. As these electrons and holes start to accumulate in this n minus drift region, the resistance get decreases. Because of this decreasing of this resistance, then what happens? Start to conduct. Then and also you can see that because of this behavior only R2 is shown with a variable resistor. Next, if you look at the R1, you are expecting R1 resistance should be very minimum, because you want to make current to flow from this collector emittent toward emitter N terminal. So R1 resistance should be less. So this R1 resistance means this is the body region resistance. We'll see what they have written. When gate voltage is removed, IGBT should be turned off. When a gate drive means MOSFET get turns off. When a gate is removed, it induces a channel. Whatever the channel, accumulated electron, all these will be vanished. Then internal equivalent MOSFET will be that MOSFET during which acted during turn on, that also get turns off. Hence T1 will get turns off, so it will make T2 turns off. T2 will turn off if P body region resistance R1 is very very small. So if R1 will be very small means obviously it works like a short connected, so T2 will get turns off. Therefore T1 will also be turns off. Hence structure of IGBT is organized such that body region resistance R1 is very very small. If it is still very very small, then what happens? It works like a short circuit only. So if it works like a short circuit, then how that circuit looks? Circuits look like this. If R1 is very very small, it start to behave like a short circuit, then this circuit looks like this. And also you can see that in IGBT this drift region resistance reduces as gate voltage, gate drive is applied. This resistance reduced because of P plus injecting region. Hence on state losses of IGBT is very small. So if you look at the VI characteristic of the IGBT, you can see that here you have ID versus VDS. Next you can see that drain to source voltage versus ID current, drain current which is flowing from drain to source like this. When you increase the gate to source voltage more than threshold voltage, then only ID current start to flow. If VGS is less than threshold voltage, then ID will be negligibly less. You can see. So this is the cutoff region. When you increase IGS still more, it will shift from active regions to saturation. In saturation region, you can say this is a complete on switch. So this is the VI characteristic of IGBT. So next we will see graph, switching graph. So here you can see during turn on, what you have done, you have increased gate to source voltage. You have increased VGS. Whenever VGS is negative, you can observe, whenever VGS will be negative, obviously you can say that your IGBT will be in off state. Whenever you increase VGS up to threshold voltage, here you can observe this is the threshold voltage. Whenever VGS is increased up to threshold voltage, then only your IGBT get turns on. Your IGBT get turns on, then IC current, collector current start to, then you can say that during turn on, IGBT behaves similar to MOSFET. Once it get turns on, it start to behave like a BJT. So we have shown this one as a IC current. IC current start to flow whenever VGS reaches to threshold voltage. You can see whenever it reaches to threshold voltage, then only whenever it reaches to threshold voltage, then only it get conducts. Then you can say that whenever this VGS reaches to maximum, then your IC also reaches to maximum. So you can say this time as a rise time. This is the time required to increase your IC current from 0 to up to maximum value. Next, TD-on. TD-on means this is the time required to increase your VGS from 0 to up to threshold voltage. How much delay that is required? Now you can call this one as a TD-on. Next, we can see that as you increase IC current, now you can observe that as you increase IC current to the peak, to the maximum, then only VC start to drop. How much? VC means collector to emitter voltage. Initially, that whenever your IGBT is in off state, this VC will be high. As this IGBT get turns on, then collector to emitter voltage start to drop. Fine. Whenever IC reaches maximum, then VC start to drop. How much time it will take to drop VC from maximum up to this VC on? That time is called as a fall off voltage time, TFV, fall off voltage time. Next, you can see if you want to make this IGBT off, you will make a VGS decrease. You will decrease this VGS up to certain voltage. Then you can call this one as a TD off, fall time. After this period, if you decrease VGS, then only your IC current started. So you can call this one as a reverse recovery time. Usually you know that a capacitor nature will be present here. How much time this is required to discharge that complete charge? Now you can call this one as a reverse recovery time. Then if you decrease this VGS, that is less than this VGS one, then only this one will get turns off. MOSFET, usually you know that IGBT means initially you have the MOSFET. That MOSFET need to get turns off during turn off. Whatever the time that is required to make this MOSFET current 0, no, you can call this one as a TF1. Next, once this MOSFET get turns off, no, then BJT nature also get turns off in this IGBT nature. So whatever that current that is required to make this BJT off, no, that is called as a TF2. Here you can see as this IGBT get turns off, then VCE obviously get increases. Here you can see VCE get increases like this. So here in general total turn on delay, turn off delay, you can add all the things and you can represent like this. T on time period will be sum of TD on delay time plus the rise time of collector current. Next, fall off voltage VC. This is nothing but turn on delay. Turn off delay. Turn off delay will be sum of TD off plus reverse recovery voltage plus MOSFET current fall time plus BJT current fall time. This is the TD off. With respect to this BJT, they have solved one simple problem. IGBT is shown like T on period, they have given T off period, they have given duty cycle, they have given VCE and fall time they have given. They asked us to calculate average load current, conduction power loss, switching power loss during turn on and turn off. With respect to this T on and T off delay time, you can calculate V naught A average equal to delta into Vs minus Vc. From this one you can calculate I naught equal to this divided by R, delta Vs divided by R. You can calculate it. Next, power loss will be 1 by Ta, P equal to V into I. What is that I? Vc into Ic. From this one you can calculate power loss. This is a simple problem. T on loss will be Ic into Vc during on period 0 to T on they have calculated. during off, how much off period is there, no, by considering this one you can calculate power of loss. And also with respect to this one, no, next we can see merits and demerits of IGBT. What are the merits we have seen? Is simple to turn on, and also on-state drop will be very less, and also switching power will be switching speed will be very high, and also you can use this one for low power application. We'll see what they have listed. Voltage control device. This is a voltage control device because during turn on, no, it behaves similar to MOSFET. Hence drive circuit is very simple, similar to MOSFET. On state loss are reduced because it start to behave like a BJT during turn as it get turns on. So on state loss are reduced. Switching frequency are high as that of thyristor, then higher than thyristor. No commutation required because you are making this MOSFET IGBT turn on and turn off using gate supply only. Gate has full control over the operation of IGBT. Next, IGBT has approximately flat temperature coefficient. These are that. Demerits means what? IGBT has a static charge problem, means if you hold this IGBT with your bare hand, this operation will be disturbed. So static charge problem it has, but it has somewhat costlier than BJT and MOSFET. These are the demerits. Application, you can use this one in AC motor, DC to DC power supply, UPS and harmonic component compensator. You can use this inverter, you can use this one inverter as well as choppers and all. These are the application of IGBT. IGBT is nothing but this is the hybrid version compared with the BJT and MOSFET. It has advantage of both MOSFET as well as BJT. With this, IGBT characteristic is completed. Thank you. In next session, we will discuss about comparison of all these things, and also we can discuss few more concepts also. Thank you.